Motivation and Group Performance, A.Rosedale, Aspen University, EDP-814, The Social Psychology of Groups, Dr. Eric Eastman, April 4th, 2022. The Kohler effect occurs when a person works harder as a member of a group than when working alone. The Kohler effect is also described as occurring when an inferior team member performs a difficult task better in a team co-action situation than one would expect from knowledge of his or her individual performance. In 1926, Otto Kohler made observations that weaker members of groups would attempt to keep up with the work or accomplishments of others in the same group by working harder at the given task. This in turn leads to a greater performance by the weaker members and an overall greater performance on the group level. Individuals, often the weaker ones in a group, may work harder to gain better standing within their groups and because of competition among group members. The Kohler effect may be the result that any individual in the group, especially those that are viewed or considered themselves weaker members of the group, do not like the possibility of a poor group output based on their weak performance. The social comparison effect is driven by individual motivations, where the success of the group is driven by the motivation of not letting the group fail. The hypothesis of social compensation presents the observation that an individual will work harder in a group setting than individually, where they expect co-workers to perform poorly within the group task. This expectation of poor performance from other group members of the group may come from assumptions that individuals have made about their fellow group members or statements made by other group members indicating they were not totally invested in their role or the goals of the group project. The first element of social compensation is the need for the individual to have some sort of mistrust of their co-workers' ability to conduct work behavior that presents an acceptable contribution to the group project. This may occur because the individual displaying social compensation may naturally distrust others to participate in the group project at an acceptable level. Distrust may also be developed when other group members have indicated they will not exert the necessary effort to complete the group task. The third reason social compensation may occur is because the individual displaying social compensation may be led by outside influences that other group members are incapable of producing in the collective task. The second element of social compensation is that the group task must be important enough to the individual so that this individual will be compelled to work harder than others in the group or harder than they normally would. If their task is not considered of high importance by the individual, rather than displaying social compensation, the individual may display social loafing and do less in the group setting. Both the Kohler effect and social compensation involved an increase in an individual's effort and performance in a group setting, as to oppose the amount of work they may do when they are tasked out by themselves. The Kohler effect is based on upward social comparison and group indispensability. Social compensation exists based on an individual's mistrust of the capabilities or motivation of fellow group members and the individual's perception of the importance of the group project. The Kohler effect is present when an individual believes he is perceived as a weaker member of the group and needs to work harder to make this group project successful. In social compensation, a group member values the goals of the group but does not trust the abilities of a fellow group member. The Kohler effect can also be seen in groups where individuals work harder in competition with other group members, either on the level of friendly collaboration or in dedication to duty and the group as a whole. Social loafing, however, exists in opposition to social compensation, where an individual does not value the effort and the goals of the group because they do not value the goals of the group, do not find importance in its efforts, or feel that by being judged as a group, they are not recognized for their individual efforts.